Hi everyone, and welcome back to another Yoga with Emma at Home practice. It's so lovely to have you. Thank you for joining me today. We've got a really nice short flow for you today, as you may have seen from the title, designed not just for runners but for anybody who needs a bit of a stretch through the legs, the calves, the hamstrings, maybe a little bit through the hips. So it's really about focusing on getting that mobility in the lower body, whilst also lengthening the muscles and feeling like we're getting a bit of openness throughout the lower half of our body. So yoga for runners, but anybody who needs a good stretch, then come join me. So we're going to start standing, so please come to stand on a mat. All you need today is maybe a pillow or a block or a strap if you have one. If not, just adapt and adjust in any way that feels comfortable for you. And we're just going to come to stand at the front of our mat. So just moving the pillow out the way, so I'm just going to pop my pillow there and I'm just going to come to stand at the top of my mat. I'm just going to get a nice steady, even stance through my feet. I'm spreading my feet wide and we're just going to get straight into it. So give the shoulders a little wiggle, maybe just rock and bounce the knees, swing the arms, maybe rock up and down on the ankles and the toes. Just kind of shaking out a little bit. And then we're going to inhale, reach the arms up, big stretch. Exhale, we float all the way down. And immediately you might begin to feel that stretch through the hamstrings. So just soften through the knees if you need to. Maybe take the feet a bit wider. Let the arms hang out of the sockets and just swing a little bit here side to side. And then maybe we begin to just straighten the knees, seeing how that feels. Maybe we're here, absolutely fine. Bend the knees again if you need to. And then we're just going to inhale, plant the hands down, and we're going to step the left foot back, and we're just going to drop the knee down. And we're going to inhale, reach the arms up. Lovely big stretch up with the arms. You can bring the hands to the hips if that feels good. And rather than sinking down in the hips, see if you can lift up a bit. So we're in a bit more of a box lunge. And then we're going to begin to sink forward. So allow the knee to go forward and then come back up and out. You can bring the hands to the hips now. We're going to sink forward and then we're going to come back. Great job. Again, sink forward. So feeling that length through the front of the hip flexors. Come back out a little bit and then sink forward. And this time maybe bring the hands down so you're really allowing the weight of the body to drive the motion forward. Nice. And we're going to start to straighten through the front leg as we draw the toes up towards the face, coming into what we call a runner's stretch. And you might feel that across the back of your calf, maybe into the hamstring. Lovely, give the foot a little wiggle. And if you want to kind of intensify that, you can bring the left fingertips to the ground and maybe open out towards the right, taking a little twist here. You can bring the hand to the hip if that feels good. Maybe opening out a little bit more. Nice. And then come back through. We're going to come forward again on that right foot. So again, allow the knee to come forward. And then we're going to bring it back, straighten the front leg. Walk the foot forward, coming into that lunge. Allow the hips to sink a bit deeper. And then come back. Inhale to come forward. Press down. And then exhale to fold back. And this time just fold a little bit over that front leg. Release the neck. And then come through. Press both hands into the ground. Tuck the back toes and step back to plank. And then just drop the knees. Stretch back into a child's pose. So there's not going to be much flow today. It's really targeting the lower body. Let the forehead be heavy. Hips down towards the ground. And then come back through to all fours, step the left leg through. So we're now in that lunge position, but the right leg's back and the left leg is forward. Inhale, reach the arms up. Lovely, maybe you look up towards the ceiling. And again, we're a bit more of a box lunge, so rather than being forward, I'm a little bit more stacked. My hips are over my right knee, my heart is over my hips. And then with an exhale, just begin to allow the hips to sink down and the knee to come forward. And then come out of it a little bit. Go forward, exhale, maybe a bit deeper. You can bring the hands to the hips if that feels good. And then go back down. Come back out. And then go back down, feeling that across the front of the hip flexor. And then bring the hands down and let the weight of the body shift the weight through that front left knee a little bit more. Nice. You might feel it across the back of the glutes. And then start to draw the hips back, straightening through that left leg, drawing the toes up towards you into our runner's stretch. Keep the chest lifted, and you just feel that through the back of the hamstring and the calf. Maybe we bring the right fingertips down and we inhale, open the left fingertips up. You can have the hand on the hip if that feels good. Little twist here, and then bring the hand down. Start to press that front foot back down, take a lunge, and then draw it back, runner's stretch. Inhale to come forward, exhale, draw yourself back. Inhale to come forward, exhale to draw it back, this time fold over that leg. You don't have to lock the knee out, just be careful of that, notice if you're holding tension anywhere. And then come back through. Press into the hands, tuck the back toes, lift up and step back to plank. But this time lift the hips, downward facing dog. Just pedal out the legs, bending, straightening one leg, spread into the hands, release the neck, strong arms, strong back. Lovely. And then we're going to walk our feet up towards the hands. Again, head heavy, shoulders heavy. And then we're going to come all the way up to standing. Big stretch with the arms. Exhale, bring the hands down. Lovely. We're going to do that little sequence again, but we're going to just add a little bit more onto it. So inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, float all the way down. Again, feeling that lovely stretch to the back of the legs. Inhale, lifts up halfway. And again, step the left foot back, drop the knee down, and just give yourself a little nice raise of the arms. Lovely. So we're going to focus on the quads now. So bringing the hands down towards the hips. You might want to this is where you might want to prop your back knee up with a pillow, or you can just roll the mat over to create like a little bit of a cushioning. But we're going to stretch through the quad here. So we're just going to gently rest the right hand on the knee. We're going to begin to bend the left foot up towards the bottom. Maybe you take hold of that foot with the left hand and you draw the foot in. Ooh, there it is. So you're maybe resting the right elbow, allowing the hips to sink a bit, pressing into that front big toe. Nice. Maybe press the foot away, draw it in. Lovely quad stretch here. And then release the left hand down. Reach away with the right fingers up and over towards the back edge of the mat. And then maybe bend the left foot again. Maybe you can take hold of the toes, draw the foot in towards you. Really focusing on that quad stretch. Big breaths in and out. Really good. And then release that down, bring the hand back, tuck the toes, step back, drop the knees wide, take the toes together, and we'll take a little child's pose. Snuggle yourself down, and just soften and release here. This is a moment to just allow yourself to connect to the breath before we take it to the other side. Really nice. Really good. Big breaths. And then we'll slowly come up to all fours. This time we'll step the left leg through again and just take a nice little crescent lunge, reach the arms up. You can be in a box here or you can sink the hips, whatever feels good for you. And then we're going to target the quad again. So bring the hands down. You might rest the left arm gently on the left thigh. Pad that knee up if you need to by rolling the edge of the mat up or placing a soft blanket under there. Whatever you need. I'm going to protect my knee, I think. It's a little bit sore. So listen to your body, so important. You can pause the video at any time if you need to get props. And then begin to bend the foot up. Reach the right arm up and over, and maybe take hold of the right foot and start to draw the heel towards the bottom. You might press the foot away. That's a nice chest opener, but we're focusing on the quad. And the more we draw the heel in, the more we start to open here. Try not to collapse too much, but see if you can get a little bit of engagement through the belly. Remembering to breathe. And then release that foot down. You can still keep your mat rolled up if you need to. Bring the right hand to the ground. Reach the left fingertips up and over. Nice little shoulder stretch. And then again, bend the right foot. This time, see if we can reach to grab hold of the foot. So we've got opposite hand to foot. Pressing into the big toe. Maybe drawing that foot towards you. Quad stretch here. Lovely. One more breath. If that's too much, just work the foot and the hand towards each other. You don't have to take hold of the foot. And then release, bring the hand down, untuck everything, and then step back to plank. And again, we're going to lift the hips, high downward facing dog. Lovely, release the neck. If that's too much, drop to the knees, and then walk the hands out, drop to the forearms, more of a puppy posture, forehead down. So taking a variation that feels most comfortable for you. Again, just if you're in down dog, give the hips a shake. Really, really nice here. And then we're going to walk up to a forward fold. We all meet together in a forward fold, head heavy. And then we're going to inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands down through center. Really good. So we're just going to move through a little standing sequence, and then we're going to bring it back down towards the ground. So again, taking it at your own pace, pausing the video whenever you need. So just allowing yourself to get comfortable here. We're going to inhale, we're going to lift up the right leg, and we're going to ground into the left foot. We're just going to open the hip out to the side. So inhaling, lifting the leg up. Take hold of the knee and open the leg out, just opening the hip a little bit. So I'll show you from the front. So lifting the leg, ground into that foot, hold on to something if you need to balance, and then open the knee out to the side. Lovely. Just letting that knee open, and then bring it back down. We'll take that to the other side. So ground into the right foot, inhale, lift the left leg. Maybe an arm out to balance, and then open out to the side. So feeling that opening of the inner thigh area. Nice. And then bring the foot back down. Give the legs a little shake. And we'll come back to stand at the front of the mat. We're going to move through a standing forward fold to kind of work on the back of the legs. Open up the hips a bit. So inhale, reach the arms up. As we exhale, lift up through the right leg, step the foot back, coming into a kind of warrior one variation. So the back toes are turned slightly in, my chest is forward, my hands are on the hips, my front leg is bent, is straight. I'm going to press the hips back, and I'm going to start to fold forward. Softness through that front leg as I release the hands. Maybe bring them to the ground or to the shin, and I release myself over that front leg. Pyramid posture. Inhale. Exhale, release. And you might play with the front foot. You might inhale, lift up the toes, coming onto the heel, and then place the foot back down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, release. Folding forward over that leg. Lovely. And you might take a little twist. You might bring the right fingertips down, left hand to the hip, and you might just open out a little bit to the left. And then bring yourself back down. Inhale, hands to the hips as we come all the way up. Maybe open the arms, bend that front leg. Warrior one. And then exhale, bring yourself back through to standing. Really good job. Taking it to the other side now. So really focus on your breath. It doesn't matter how low you can go, but as long as you're feeling the length through the back of the leg. So inhale, reach the arms up. As we exhale, bring the hands through center, lift the left knee, and just take a step back. Doesn't need to be a big wide step, and then just check your feet. Back toes are turned slightly in. I'm facing the front of my mat. Hands on the hips, press the hips back, start to fold forward. You might begin to feel it through the back of the hamstring. Release the hands and fold over that front leg. Release the neck, softness through the shoulders. Maybe fingertips on the ground or near the shin. Inhale, maybe lift up onto the front heel, so you're lifting the toes towards the face, and then you plant the foot back down. Inhale to lift the foot, heel on the ground, press the foot back down. Inhale, roll up onto the heel, feel that through the calf maybe, and then exhale, bring the hand down, fold forward. Really nice. Exhaling. Big inhale. And then we'll inhale, bring the hands to the hips, come all the way up, maybe bend the front leg, little warrior, reach the arms up. And then we'll bring ourselves back through to center. Brilliant. So we're going to start to make our way down onto our, into a seat. So we're going to start doing a little bit on the floor now. So some really nice gentle movements. But we're just going to move through one little flow to get there. So feet in either together or hip width apart. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, float all the way back down. Inhale, lifts you up a little bit halfway, and we exhale, step one foot back and then the other, meeting in plank. We drop to the knees, lower through, press up to the belly. Inhale, cobra, squeeze the glutes. Exhale to lower. And then we're going to press up to all fours. And then we're going to slide the left knee all the way up towards the left wrist. And we're just going to work that left foot over towards the right side. And we're going to just work the back leg out a little bit. So we're coming into pigeon. This is where you might want your pillow, and you might want to place it underneath your left sitting bone so you are nice and supported by the ground. And you should feel that front of the right hip flexor. So just check your back foot. The heel is a little bit in towards the inner thigh, absolutely fine. It's not about getting the shin parallel to the mat. And then we just walk onto our forearms and we take a moment here. Really nice way to bring the weight over the front of the leg, so that begins to compress down, and that's where we start to feel the release through the front of the hip, the back of the hip. If you want to, you can create two fists and you can rest your forehead down. Use your exhale to ground. You might even, if you've got space, reach the arms out, take a full body stretch, forehead on the ground. Whatever feels most comfortable for you. Really nice. Two more breaths. We're holding this a little bit longer. And then we'll slowly, on your next breath, bring yourself up. We're going to tuck the back toes, lift the back leg, and we're going to press up to all fours. And then up to downward facing dog. Lovely. Just move the pillow over to the other side. Really nice. Drop back down onto the knees. And then start to slide the right knee up towards the right wrist, maybe working the right foot out towards the left side of the mat, and just begin to work the back knee a little bit further away. And again, you might get your pillow, place it underneath here, and then allow yourself to settle back down. And then maybe you begin to come onto the forearms. So you're nice and supported, you're not hanging in one hip or the other. The back leg is nice and long and straight, the shoulders are relaxed, the face is relaxed. One side might feel more open than the other, and the right foot is nearer towards the left inner thigh. And again, you might straighten the arms as you work deeper into the stretch. Lovely. Really nice. 2 more breaths. Inhaling, releasing with the exhale. And then slowly with your next breath, bring yourself back up onto your hands. Tuck the back toes, maybe just move the pillow somewhere out the way. Lift the back leg and press up to downward facing dog again. Just even out the legs, give yourself a little shake with the hips, and then drop back down to the knees. And then again, we're just going to take another little quad stretch. Bring yourself into the middle of your mat, sit back on towards your heels, bring the hands behind you underneath the shoulders and lift the chest. Maybe open the throat, maybe that's enough, or maybe you lift the hips, squeeze the glutes, and we push the quads up towards the ceiling. Exhale to lower. And then sit yourself over to one side. Take the legs out long. Really nice. We're going to draw the left leg in. You can either keep it on the inside of the right foot, or you can take the inside of the right thigh, or you can take the left foot outside of the right thigh, or you can bring your right foot, bend the knee and bring the foot towards the left sitting bone. So up to you, but make sure you're nice and grounded through your sitting bone. Both feet are on the ground. I'm going to keep my right leg out long. So hug the left knee with the right arm, reach up and over with the left hand and take a nice twist. Press the knee into the forearm and the forearm into the left knee, and that helps engage the shoulders in the middle of the back rather than twisting from the hip. Try not to sit back, but lift up through the spine. Big inhale, exhale, and then bring yourself back through. Release the leg, draw the right knee up, foot on the ground on the inside of the left thigh or the outside of the left thigh. Again, you can then draw the left foot towards the right sitting bone, so you're in more of a twist, like a pretzel. Again, I'm going to keep the left leg out long and just have my foot over the other side of the knee. Hugging the right knee with the left arm, reaching up and over with the right. And again, rather than twisting from my hips, I'm pressing my forearm into my knee and my knee into my forearm, creating that opposite of tension. And that twists me through the middle of the back and the upper shoulders and the upper back, rather than from my hips and my lumbar. So there's no pressure through the lower body. Nice. And then bring yourself through. Give the legs a little shake and then press both feet into the ground. Drop one way and then the other, and then the other, and then the other. Just one more time right, one more time left. And then we're slowly going to make our way onto our back. Draw both knees into the chest. Give yourself a squeeze here. And then reach both legs up. Maybe take hold of the toes and just draw the thighs towards you. Maybe take hold of the back of the knees. Allow the knees to open wide, or take hold of the shins. Coming into a happy baby, and you can kind of rock a little bit here, side to side. And then draw the knees in, take the arms out to the side, drop the knees over to the right. A nice stretch through the rib cage. Big breath in. Big breath out. Inhale, draw the knees back up through center, take them over to the left. Lovely, should feel that through the IT band, the glute midi, the outer kind of hip area here. Big inhale and big exhale. And then take both legs in. You can come up to a seat in whatever way feels comfortable for you. And feel free to just take a little mini Shavasana there if you want to. You don't have to, that's absolutely fine. But just bring the hands together. Take a nice forward fold. And then come back up. Thank you very much for practicing. I hope you enjoyed that. Hopefully the lower body feels a little bit more open now and spacious. But that's just a good little routine you could practice if you've gone for a run, or if you've done a bit of cardio, or if you've been on your feet all day and you just kind of want to stretch through the lower body. It's perfect for any time of the day. So thank you again, and I'll see you in my next video. Take care.